War for the Crown Adventure Path here on the Michael Parnaby Gaming Network. Last session, the agents assembled after completing some tasks in Riverbend for an agent of the Empire of Taldor. The agents had to solve 4 tasks. Firstly, they helped the giant Banjo Cole move his forge after one of his eyes had blown out. Secondly, they helped Arlen Fivenegger get some special milk for his scotch. Thirdly, they found some special building bricks for the Jedi Master Ashgronk. And lastly, they got some roid juice for Cartlos Parno. Along the way, they met Brett Stryker, the crafty goblin, Reed Richards, and Big Gav, the alchemist. The party are told by their benefactor, Agent Coulson, that tomorrow they will board the barge, the Rusty Pumpkin, and head to Apara, capital of the Empire of Tarmouth. And so we rejoin the agents the night before they leave Riverbend, potentially forever. There is Isabella, the human rogue.
Hey.
From the Dwarven Paladin.
Hello.
Chester, the human whiz, and Morgana, the sylph.
Isn't Chester a swashbuckler?
Yes, well, that's actually what I've still got written here. So I was almost about to say that, but I think he's Chester the wizard, or Cheese Whiz for short. And there is Nala, the human cleric, and Lord Umfrey, the human cavalier. Or perhaps he's renounced all of his nobility.
G'day.
So while we go, you're in another rusty thing, the rusty nail, the night before. If there's anything you might feel you want to get, otherwise, you know, early the next morning you will be on the barge, heading down towards.
I want to get some action with a gnome.
Well, what gnome would you be looking for? Any gnome? Any gnome in the dark?
I got my eye on a gnome, all right.
So make sure he's actually standing up straight and looking very un-gnomish. just to make things quite obvios that he is not the target of your affections.
Carrying a watering can and pushing a wheelbarrow?
Hi-ho, hi-ho.
Hey,
It's off to work we go.
Can I share your room tonight? I'll sleep on the floor, in the corner. I don't care.
Don't worry, I'll be there too.
No, I don't feel safe.
It sounds like you've got some working out to do.
Don't worry, I've got a safe word you can use.
Pineapple.
I cast suggestion on From and just put the thought in his head that Morgana's head would look really nice on the end of his bed.
He might lop it off.
Well, like still attached, or
No,
That's what I was wondering.
It seems like a good idea.
crikey.
No, I couldn't do that.
But I did notice in BG3, at least dwarves look different. The halflings and gnomes seem to look almost identical, except perhaps the pointy ears.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crikey.
Yeah,
That was when I was looking to play it, but Michael wasn't online, which surprised me.
Was that during the day when?
Yeah, it was 3 o'clock or 2:30 or something during the day, 2 o'clock or something. But
Lovely.
I thought you would have snuck on, being the boss of your R&B.
Did you make it rain? Then no, I wasn't on.
Noting, I think there's an R&B Lawyers as a company as well, so you guys have branched out.
Yeah, sounds like us.
I think you might have had Glyn working for you, and that's your expansion business. But look, if not, I'm sure you can join the barge the next day.
Yes, please. Let's skip straight to the barge.
Let's skip straight to that.
Why are you walking so strangely, Chester? What happened?
We just show pictures of trains going through tunnels and things and skip to the barge.
No, not at all.
Champagne popping.
Chester's got big bags under his eyes. It doesn't look like he slept for 2 nights.
And he's getting all paranoid.
Yep.
Well, that would, I could well understand why you might be paranoid, but I think with the magically powered barge, you would cover the 1,400 miles approximately in about 2 weeks, at 100 miles a day, roughly.
Crikey.
Yeah,
That's a trip.
Wow.
Over on some island somewhere, you see Absalon, which is, I think, the largest city in Gloarian. You might well know that the captain says we need to steer clear of there. There's a whole horde of rat folk, the Rackmore family, and we certainly don't want those guys getting on the boat. They'll eat everything, including the boat. And then, yes, through Casimir, which is a port city in the Empire of Taldor, and then on to Apara, where Captain Flaxseed asks you to disembark, and he will introduce you to. Dare I find a picture of her somewhere? Where is Martella Lothlead? Nope, that is not in either. That is something else. Too many tabs, Michael. That is the problem.
Yes.
To this lady who is Martella Lothheed. He says, I'm so glad you could meet us here in Apara. I am but a small servant in a family, and I'm hoping that you will become agents of the Empire. There's always things going on, and I need people who will get in there and find out who's on our side, who's on the other side, and make some adjustments. No? Who do I have here? Looking at perhaps you, Chester, first off, she's almost unable to take her eyes off you.
Oh, join the club.
Reach forward to acquaint myself with her.
Not around,
No,
but forward.
Forward.
Okay.
And
Just
say,
thought I'd ask.
I am Chester. I am the company's wizard.
Yes, always good to have the arcane in the group. And could you introduce your companions?
Yes. This is From. And he reaches up to try and tap him on the shoulder.
We'll just sort of lean down just a little bit so he can.
Thank you, From.
So he's not embarrassed.
This is From. He's from Strongbeard, and he is a paladin. A force to be reckoned with, one with honor. He once fought a duel with his bare hands when challenged against a group of goblins and an ogre.
Well, that sounds like a paladin. Sometimes in our business, yes, you may struggle.
Crom tilts his head to the side, pondering what she means, but doesn't say anything.
She means morally. Sometimes there's immoral things you might quit. Yeah.
Orally, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can be quite deaf due to the helm.
And this is yeah. No, let's go to the other one. This is Isabella. Very deft with her hands, sneaky, and quite deadly with those daggers.
A pleasure, my lady.
Yes. Excellent. Someone closer to my own heart.
Oh, I've been replaced. Okay.
In a skill base only, but who is next, Chester?
This
Pain in the ass.
This where the hell did he go?
Get see what?
Who's Nala? This is Nala.
Hmm.
Nala is a cavalier without a steed, but also very honourable.
I think this one, Nala, you're pointing at, is more a cleric,
That's
a priest.
right. Where the fuck's Dave's character? I got Humphrey. Oh, he's Humphrey. I got confused between From and Humphrey. My apologies. Big height difference. I'll skip over Nala because he's ignoring us. And sorry, this is Humphrey, Cavalier, minus steed. Still,
Castellan.
is that your last name?
No, that's. I'm not a cavalier because I don't have a horse.
Do you want a horse? Do we need to get you a horse? Oh,
No, not a horse. Thanks. A castle would be good though. I'm not a really good castellan because I don't have a castle.
well, depending on our ventures, you may obtain a castle through marriage.
Oh, indeed. Yes, you will be popular with the families, a fellow noble, perhaps down lower like myself, Humphrey, but always maybe able to ascend.
She's a bit of a slut. So Humphrey's also very good with his tongue in social situations.
Hey, whoa, hang on.
What? Did I not say that right?
No, don't be so base in front of the lady,
Base.
Chester.
Yes,
Okay.
I might just say that in some social circumstances you may need to be a little bit more diplomatic.
You must understand he and Morgana have a freer speech than
Well,
but it's all right because Humphrey never does the riding. He's always the one being ridden.
Oh, welcome to the conversation, Nala.
Jeez, Nala.
Morgana blushes a bit and says,
"We've known each other a day. That's quite the assumption."
Such a cunning linguist.
And this fine chap is our dagger-wielding cleric, who's also got the gift of the gab.
Except mine comes from a place of religious purity, as I cast a look over at Humphrey.
Okay.
Well,
a yearning look?
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
This is a group with issues.
Now I look at Humphrey with the same pain.
Humphrey with the same pain.
I appreciate the interest, Nala, but not really my thing.
I look away sadly.
And that, I do believe, is our entire group.
But you have one more here, the ugly one.
Let me just see. From Nala, Isabel, Humphrey, Chester. No, that's it. That's all of us.
What's is this Sylph? Is this a part of your group? My Coulson tells me there's another one. This
He doesn't see me as separate to him. We're inseparable.
Oh, dear God.
Peas in a pot.
And
Like Adam and Eve.
What do I introduce you as? Well, it's Morgana. Morgana's profession and what she brings to our group is horror.
A thorn to my side.
Screams. She's
Cackling.
Scary. She's a bit of an odd thorn in this group.
Well, sometimes that may be needed. But you are here at a prestigious time. This is a week-long celebration of all Taldor culture. Enjoy while you are here. So much food and other things to partake in. I think you should enjoy. I have extended a line of credit at my favourite tailor, the Thread Rare, where you should be able to get yourself some courtier's clothing and then we will talk again about what missions I need you for. But you must be dressed for the part. Obviously, those who can afford more, perhaps you, Sir Humphrey, you may want a noble's outfit, as befits your station.
I already have a noble's outfit myself. Thank you. I'll just wear that.
Well, yours is not in the Taldor tradition. You must be Taldorian. You are working
It
for
is
the
in the
Empire.
Taldor. It is in the Taldor tradition.
Is it? Well, that would seem strange.
He also knows Triaxian, so good luck with that.
Of course, yes.
Child of Opare. You belong to a noble family in Taldor.
Well, someone as ugly as you, it would seem surprising, but maybe you were their absolute cast-off. But anyway,
Don't worry, the gnome has adopted me, and we're all happy now.
Yes, like a pet.
Oh yeah, I'll pet you all right.
The grander day of exaltation approaches when the Senate will vote on changing the rules of primogeniture, and so hopefully the Princess Eutropia will be able to ascend the throne. But enough of that. We can talk later. Please let me lead you to the Masked Dagger, where you will spend your time until I come for you in a few days. But get the outfits. Enjoy yourselves. Eat well. We have a lot of business afoot. Taldor has many enemies inside and out, many factions. And I need agents such as yourself to be my eyes and ears to help. And she leads you to the Masked Dagger.
Ooh.
And lets you settle in there into individual rooms. She explains where the Thread Rare shop is, and you can obviously decide what you want to do in terms of information you might want to get before she comes to meet you in a few days' time.
Do we know who she works for, or?
No, you do not. You have not asked her, but you could, I guess you could potentially ask her that before she heads off.
Well, yeah, my lady, could you maybe mind just telling us who it is that we would ultimately be working for, or is that something we're not allowed to know?
I see your mind are working. Of course, as a noble, you want to climb the ladder. You're looking for my boss and their boss. So you can report and replace me. I understand how these things work.
No.
We will get to that. Needless to say, I represent an important faction within the Empire, and at the time I tell you when we are ready for the missions. If you choose to walk away, you can walk away.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a vow to help those that can't help themselves, the commoners, so I'm a bit worried.
Well, you can make a diplomacy check. She says, we can talk more, but I am aligned with the Princess Eutropia, for the future. And she is beloved of the people, as her brother was before his accident. But I will leave you be, and I'll be back in several days. Enjoy.
Accident, huh?
Yeah, and didn't she say they were just bringing a law in that she could be something like royal or something?
All females will be able to get inheritance.
So it means that rather than passing from male to male, the child would just be the oldest child, be they male or female.
Yeah, okay. So, but I mean, she'd be in more danger then if the brother's dead, and then she could possibly be the next, whatever.
That would absolutely sound like she will be next. Yes, but if you wish to gain more information, you could ask the barkeep on some general stuff, if you like, with a diplomacy check.
Well, I mean, do we want to do something else first, guys, or do we want to start asking around town? For
Don't ask
or-
Morgana.
Why? What is it you want to do, Morgana?
Nothing. I'll just follow Chester around.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything first? Or?
Really just get these clothes, get some suitable clothes, and yeah, I guess we just have a bit of a wander around the city to get our bearings. I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably a good idea. Before we start talking to people, we'll have a look.
So you're going to Threadrare first, yeah?
Yeah.
It would be the
Nice.
best option to get
Well,
out.
I assume they're not just going to be able to whip up stuff for people off the street straight away, so it's going to take a few days to get them, probably, so it doesn't hurt.
Sure, well, let's assume you go to Threadrare. They seem already as if they're aware of who you are as you enter. And he says, yes, of course, Martella told us you would be coming. You have credit here. I will do up a courtier's outfit for all of you on your credit. I understand there's an ugly one here. Ah, yes, of course. I will just adjust your outfit to make it a little bit more modern. And of course, you, Sir Humphrey, you will need a noble's outfit. Yes.
Sure. Yep.
Yes. Martella has authorised additional expenditure for your noble outfit. So, for those that don't, please add a courtier's outfit, except for Humphrey, who can add a nobleman's outfit.
Please.
Yeah, From's happy to wear a noble the courtier's outfit, as long as it does not mean he has to remove his armor.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's you can provide those instructions.
Would like to.
Taylor.
Yeah, like a fancy cloak and, I don't know, shoulder tassels.
He says I can make the adjustments you need to feel comfortable in whatever other undergarments you choose to wear.
Obliged.
Well, yeah, I mean, that'd be the same for all of us then. We would all wear our armor, wouldn't we? Yes.
It's up to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
preferably. Going to be pretty easy for me, though, I'd imagine, so, yeah.
Because your plate armor is
That's right.
effectively invisible.
Yeah, that's right. It's really soft. It's just paper plates.
Yeah.
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 Courtier's outfit.
And she takes one paper plate off each time that she dances.
That's right.
Maybe it's what is that Greek dance where they smash the plates?
Yeah.
Opa.
Bazuki dancing, I think it's called, something like that. Somebody fact check that, please.
We'll trust you guys.
Cheers.
So yes, as you would expect, he will say, given the attention Martella has requested, it will be ready tomorrow. They will be ready tomorrow. Sorry.
Very quick.
Thank you.
Very spiffy.
Any sites you can recommend around town? We're just going to do a walk around and have a look at everything.
Apara is a big city, far better than that rubbish Absalon over the water. Many places to see. Obviously, with the grand day coming up, the Senate building is especially big. But I understand you may be you may be doing some work there in any event. But yes, other than that, almost just wandering around this. What a magnificent city! I think this is a rough view, at least, of it that you might have where you've arrived. As I hastily search for the map I know I have of the city here.
Let's avoid all the noble and senate areas, and so that they don't see that we're actually poor. And then when we turn up to the rich people thing.
Yeah, that's right.
None of those. Ah. Here you go. There's a map of Opara. I'm sure you would get that there are some areas where there's much bigger buildings.
Oof, that's big.
So the Senate is here on the map. But there are a range of, and I mean, I think today, given some of the activity, it's probably getting fairly late. And you were probably staying somewhere over here near the Westport, which is, as you would have no doubt seen, crammed with sailors, you know, and tons of other things that would be related to that, from money lenders, ramshackle pawn shops, rowdy pubs, etc., etc.
So we'll make the inn our unofficial spy base here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Nobody will suspect the Mask and Dagger as a.
No, very innocuous name. So
Yeah. Well, you know, there's still probably, if you tell me you're talking to people in the street, there's obviously a role. If you want to ask the bartender if there's a specific shop or some place you think would be better.
No, let's just walk around and get a general feel for if people are excited for what's going on. Or
yeah, absolutely.
Well, in that case, you can have your best guy character make a diplomacy roll, with anyone assisting as they wish.
I'll assist. Diplomacy.
I should listen.
I'll pretend I'm
Alright.
the best.
Well, you'll where are you, Humphrey? So you get looks like 2 lots there. So you certainly get the feeling that that it is a very exciting time, and you just, you know, there are people here from all over the place. It's you hear some talk that the Opara seems to have doubled in size in a relative short space of time, with so many people here. And on that, you can roll a couple of die 10s, and then I can tell you something in more detail.
I'll take that as a literal couple of die 10s.
7. Yep. So you hear that people claim Duke Centimus is a gentleman, but he gave me the dirtiest look for asking about his accident. And you would know that Duke Centimus you pick up is indeed a paraplegic. And then you hear that the Senate is taking on a bunch of new staff to prepare for the gala. And that is about what you get, unless you say, well, we want to stay out through the night.
I
Nah.
head home early. I am a weakling when it comes to night drinking.
Need
So-
to sleep, and I need to sleep with him.
So, what do we make of that? I guess everyone's excited, so it's a good thing.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
they're taking on new staff, so there's going to be fucking spies everywhere.
Yeah, yep.
There's going to be Spy Central.
Okay.
Mm.
We should take notice of anyone else staying at the masking day.
Yeah, good point.
And did they say they asked a paraplegic about his accident and got a dirty look?
Yeah, funny that.
Jeez.
Yes, indeed.
that's rough.
They're just I think they're probably just shitheads to each other, and everyone just expects it. One
That's
would imagine.
true.
So nice that when I asked him about his accident, he was pretty upset.
But it may be, in almost a metagaming sense, that you might well encounter Duke Centimus and know what to say.
Mm.
Oh yeah. That is the natural thing I would say to him. So how did that happen, mate?
Absolutely.
Or you may choose to say something because you want to upset him.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, good point. Fair point.
I certainly know.
Yeah, I guess we'll see where it goes depending on the context.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, just don't clap for the handicap out loud. Frowned upon.
He might still have a just because he's paraplegic doesn't mean he's not wielding like 2 pistols or something like that. To be fair,
Certainly could be true. Yeah.
Oh, para, not quad. Yep.
Yes.
You might have had an itchy nose if it was a quadriplegic.
That'd suck.
Well, we can go to a new day.
Well, through the night at the tavern, is
Yes.
there murmurings going on? I just eavesdrop.
Sure. Make a diplomacy check as well. Let's see. In fact, to some degree, you can all make diplomacy checks, but certainly you've kicked it off, Chester. Well, roll me a die 8, Chester. In fact, you can all not from.
I thought so.
You in fact from though you do meet another human who interesting enough you sort of recognise, and their name is Chester Rothbottom. You're not quite, is it Rothbottom or Rawbottom? You're not quite certain. Who is a swashbuckler, and you seem to spend more time chatting to him rather than understanding what else is going on.
Fickle.
But Chester, you learn that someone says, "Hey, my uncle is in the Lion Blades, and he says those dirty Kadirans are planning to kidnap the Princess Eutropia, for ransom tonight. I mean, this won't be good. The town will be in uproar. We'll demand that the Kadiran or Kadira is destroyed." Is there anything you want to ask about that, Chester?
Yep. Who are the Lion Blades?
The Lion Blades.
Oh,
Oh, just one of the Lion Blades. Just one of the mercenary groups within here. There's so many of them. I can't keep up with all these factions, but I've heard they're going to do this.
No, the Lion Blades aren't. The dirty Kardashians are.
Oh, sorry, that's right. Sorry, Kadirans. Sorry, I tell you.
Do you want me to help you with your rumour? Is that what?
No, thank you. Thank you. His uncle is in the Lion Blades. The Lion Blades are a mercenary group.
Okay. And who are these said dirty Kardashians?
Well, they're from Kardashia or Kadira.
Kadir is the whole like area, continent, basically, country.
It is a country to the south of Taldor, directly to the south, and I guess you could make knowledge history rolls if you wish to get perhaps remember more information about Kadira. Well, Morgana, you would know that Kadira has fought many wars with Taldor, and so there is obviously some ill will there. But is there any? Did anyone else get there? Yes. So there's Nala. Nala will need a die 8 roll. Sorry, Chester. Yes. Anything more?
Does he know anything about the plans or where his uncle could be found?
And then sort of seems to get a lot vaguer. Yeah, well, my uncle, he's sort of in another part of the Lion Blades, but I'm sure it's happening. This will be bad for everything. Imagine those Kadirans taking Princess Eutropia. I mean, we'll know.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. And then when you say shocked, he sort of seems to get because it just seems this person might know a bit, but just wants to feed on the aggro or the anger of the situation.
Cool. Thank you.
And a D8 for Nala, please.
You want to date Nala?
And you hear this person says, I got to see Mr. Smiles at Duke Talbot's reception this week. The one where Baronet Javaris got into a row with the servant, and that jester is delightful, whimsical and biting all at once, and such grace. A tad off-putting, though. So, yes, seems to be talking obviously about a jester called Mr. Smiles.
Oh.
Okay. Is Mr. Smiles famous in this particular corner of Taldor?
Make a knowledge local roll.
Oh god, I'm
Ooh.
going to be ace at this.
Oh, knowledge local.
And, now let's just assume with that. Yeah. But obviously you may well have approached this. Presumably you've shared it with your companions who may have knowledge local. Jeepers. Morgana, you the reputation of Mr. Smiles, possibly because you were here at one part of your life, is well known that this is a popular jester who has a dark side, though.
Always like someone called Mr. Smiles.
Yes.
Let's rent the Jester for entertainment.
Well, if you visit Cryal Castle, you can rent the Jester for the day to help you.
Ryle.
Cryal Castle in Victoria, and I do note it is indeed the Victorian medieval festival on this weekend there, but that aside.
Wait. There's a creepy jester that Morgana knows, and you're like, let's get them.
Yep.
That's
I
true.
went from dark side to exercise it.
Though, when you hear dark side, you have heard of a game where you get dark side points if you do the wrong thing, Star Wars or something, and it's not good to collect too many DSPs.
Look, it's only a matter of point of view to see if it's the wrong thing or not.
Well, that is true. No doubt that's what Jedi Master Ashgronk would say.
Yeah, I believe you would.
Oh.
Well, what else are you going to? Is that it? Is there something else you feel you'd like to try something different for information?
I just know throughout the night I'd like to put suggestions into people's head that they want to supply me with alcohol.
Sure.
I'm
so
happy
you
to supply you with alcohol.
Not Morgana, and nor do I get so plastered that I can't control myself.
Or you have incredible penile control.
but you're casting spells. Is that correct?
Yeah, discreetly.
That's well, so you're going to make, what is it, a sleight of hand roll?
Whatever you want.
Oh, excellent. Morgana gets very excited.
God, yep. Okay, let's assume you are adept at that. Yes. And let's say, Umfrey, you were approached by several of the young women in the tavern, in the inn, who say, "Oh, and you're a nobleman. Are you related to the Princess Eutropia?"
Well, that's quite the question. It's very presumptuous of you to think I've read enough of the background material to know that.
Well, you may. I mean,
You done your homework?
because if you're, I mean, she is the adult daughter of Grand Prince Stavian III, and she has such a scandalous reputation for making trouble and fighting in the streets. And you look like you could handle fighting as well in a nobleman's outfit as well. I mean, if you're related, perhaps there might be a young lass here you could raise to a noble station, and we would know the princess. And then they giggle with each other.
No, I was from the merchant family, the Talbots, and they kicked me out because I help poor people.
Yes. So then they sort of look at each other and then say, "Oh, is that Rico over there? Look, you must go," and they head off.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say wrong? I don't understand.
You're too real for these people, I'm from.
Surely there's noble in name and there's noble of purpose. Can't the commoners tell the difference?
No.
Well, yes, we can accelerate to tomorrow unless there is anything that anyone else would like to ask. There doesn't need to be. There can be.
No, I'm all good.
All good. Well, tomorrow comes along. You know, at some point you can go and get your new threads. You can obviously do some more gathering of information if you like, depending on what topics you might like to ask about.
Yeah.
There are certainly some names you have at the moment.
Smile.
Should we be looking into these people from the kingdom to the south or whatever, just to see what they're up to? Or...
Yeah, if they're not screaming kidnapping now, that probably didn't occur.
And that is true. You have not heard any words, and you would think, yes, if the princess, who might well be next in line, depending on whether or not the Senate approves the rejection of the primogeniture bill or legislation, then yes, you would expect there would be a lot of noise, and there is none.
If we could find out what happened to her brother, that would be interesting.
Sure. So maybe that's a knowledge local roll in the first instance, because there might well be someone who...
Ooh.
Nala is perhaps mishearing me, but...
Nala's a priestess Slanesh, yeah? That's the vibe I'm getting.
That's right, wasn't it?
So Izzy, no, you certainly don't know anything. But if not, you can and even Morgana unusually does not know. But Humphrey, digging into your memory banks, perhaps family connections, is you know that about 20 years ago, then Prince Carius was killed in a horse riding accident, and he was next in line, and obviously it seemed that hit the Grand Prince Stavian quite hard. He was the younger brother, I think, and yes, killed in a riding accident is what you hear.
I'll explain that to everyone.
Mm.
So it was some time ago. It's not a recent thing.
Okay. Has there ever been any conjecture over whether or not it was an accident or not? Do we know?
I'm afraid you don't. You only know that amount of information.
I'm going to assume that there were suspicions, because come on, if it's someone in the royal family, they would have gone nuts looking,
So maybe.
No, sorry, how long ago did you say it was? 20 years?
It was 20 years ago. Yes.
Yeah, it was before I was born, so I'm not quite sure what happened.
Well, so that's probably why you don't know a lot more. You've just heard it in your family.
Just
Because you didn't exist. Gotcha. Roger.
Yeah, it was certainly talked about. I mean, he was apparently, you know, he was popular with the people.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it worth us getting to know who the other power players are, like the families or factions?
I mean, once we've got our clothes, should we just go to the Senate and check it out? And then someone there can point out all the powerful groups.
Yeah.
So you're going to thread rare
to pick up the clue.
You get the clothes. Are you wearing them?
Oh, there's a point. Do we want to dirty them before we're required to wear them?
Sure.
No, I mean, I don't think I'll wear mine at the moment.
Yeah, probably.
Likely to get blood on them at some point. So.
Yeah, keep it in the bag or something.
If only I had prestidigitation.
Yes. Yeah.
Or fireball.
Oh, do they come with a warranty? Like if we wrecked, will they?
He just laughs. You're so funny, Humphrey.
Oh,
Cool.
I am. I shuffle my feet. I guess I am.
No shocks.
But you can walk up to the Senate. You find that there are a number of guards around, and they don't. You notice there's not people sort of mingling past them. They seem to be. There's some action going there, as if it's being set up. Banners are being hoisted up, etc.
Should we wait for what's her name? What was that girl's name?
Yes.
Martella. She had hair and stuff.
Martella.
Yeah,
Your boss?
should we wait for her to tell us who everyone is, or should we figure it out ourselves? Chester, what did you want us to have a look?
I think if we can try and get as non-biased information as possible before relying upon Martella, she seemed a bit standoffish as to where she stood.
I didn't even think of that. You're a smart man.
No, thank you.
Well, yeah, but also... Oh, wait. Do you identify as...
I'm not quite of age yet.
As a gnome. You identify as a gnome. Okay, I see.
I do. I am a them and they.
Yeah. So so yes, it would look like you would not get into the Senate. If you wish to ask questions, you The names you would appear to know about at least are Martella herself, your potential boss or your boss, the Grand Prince, the Princess, potentially about the grand day of exaltation itself. Or there is general rumours you could be asking people, more general rumours that you could be asking people about.
We go up to the information box and just grab the leaflet about the day of exaltation. What's expected to occur?
There doesn't seem to be an information box available, but if you're just going to ask someone, you could make a diplomacy roll.
Okay.
I'll assist.
Or you can lead.
I never lead, I follow.
I know, but your stat is higher than mine, so technically by the rules, because your stat is higher, you're going to be leading anyway.
It sounds like it's you, Chester, unless you're now backing out.
Why don't you bluff them into telling you, Chester? That sounds like the best option.
Yeah, I don't want to know about the day of exaltation.
I just want to make sure you know about it. Tell me what you know.
Needless to say, Chester, you do learn some things. I mean, arguably, yes, I guess I could just post these to you individually and then let you...
I will share them anyway.
So the Grand Day of Exaltation is the one day every year when the Emperor can elevate a commoner of unusual skill or service to the ranks of nobility. And people travel from all over the Empire to witness the exaltation. Many balls and political events take place in the preceding week. And the Senate usually votes on matters of national importance immediately before that. And obviously, you know about the change to the primogeniture law would be one of those. And this year's noble-to-be is a wide-eyed weaver from the village of Breezy Creek, whose beautiful tapestries have adorned the royal palace and many other royal homes for a decade. And his name is Kalbio, Kalbio, from the village of Breezy Creek. That is what you have learnt about the Grand Day of Exaltation.
What creek was it?
Breezy.
Breezy.
Breezy Creek.
Cool.
What else would you like to derive from talking to people about with a diplomacy check, and if so, who might be making it, or again, just general gather information?
Do we pick up? I don't really know. Is this the sort of place we would ask for those that would be against such a notion?
Sorry, Michael. Can you just explain that to me again?
Nope. You had your chance. I'm not doing it again.
Let me just jump in and listen to the feed. What did you mean?
Well, I addressed the group and I asked, would this be the sort of place we'd find out who would be against the notion of that, making females heirs to...
I mean, they would be debating it here in the Senate, yes? So you could ask them about who's debating on each side or whatever.
Could probably just see it if we could actually go to the Senate and view.
That's true, but being forewarned would be to our benefit, not see it as it unfolds.
True. I mean, if we can, absolutely, but otherwise we should just be able to get the gist of it pretty quickly.
Are we able to find out any information if any particular faction or family or nobles might be against it?
Well, if you're asking in the street, you would need to make a diplomacy roll.
I'll assist.
My Mancy of Diplo is in the tower.
Jeepers.
That must have been so bad.
Or
Okay,
good.
well, you meet someone who says, well, let me see. You meet someone who says, yeah, I'm hoping those bastards give us the princess we need. Princess Eutropia, she's popular just like her brother was. There's no reason for the old guy to hang on. She should be next in line, not someone else. She's part of the family. That's who should be there. I hope they vote her up, but there's people who don't like it, people who don't care. I hope there's enough who are pro the princess, but we really just don't have a feel yet.
Is there any particular group of anti or no voters that might need some form of assistance so we can encourage them to vote for it?
Oh, I don't know about that sort of stuff. I'm just an average Joe Blow. I couldn't. That seems a bit detailed for me to know. I certainly think the Emperor made no secret of his disdain for some of the princess's social crusades, but he's been very quiet about a lot of this sort of stuff. There's rumours that his health is slipping, and so who knows where that sits. But I don't know about factional stuff or where people sit.
Do you know who sits in the Senate?
All the nobles do.
I look at Humphrey.
Go on, Humphrey.
I've been part of it for a while.
But your family might be known well enough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use the name to get us in.
Okay, well, we know where we stand.
We don't want that. We don't want that attention. That's what I'm saying. If we're here for why we're here, then
Other reasons.
give him a surreptitious wink.
So in your time as part of the noble family, surely you would know of other noble families that would be sitting in the Senate?
Well, yeah, I know. I do have some knowledge of the nobility. I believe that is one of my skills to know about them.
Cool. That's just as long as you know, I guess.
Who is next in line before this bill is passed? Then do I know that or this law is passed?
That is a good question, and I think the Emperor, Grand Prince Stavian III, has not named a successor.
Oh, then they really are in the shit at the moment if they don't have one.
Yeah.
To anyone's knowledge, they haven't named a successor, but yes, that would obviously leave the Senate having to make that decision.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll explain that to them.
Yeah, that's not what we want. Absolutely. Okay.
Well, in your time with your noble family, did you hear of any other noble families that didn't or has disdain for Grand Prince Stavian?
I mean, part of being in the noble families is they're always scheming and in cahoots with each other and all their different plots. So yeah, I did. Would they be still valid now? I've no idea. It moves so fast.
And that is exactly right, Humphrey. You would expect that alliances would be made in the blink of an eye.
Is it something we should try and find out, or not really worth our time?
I mean, we could find it out, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
Can I use your family name?
No, let's not use it. That's what I'm saying.
No. I was just asking permission. I didn't just go and do it. But
we could. I mean, what do you want to know? You want to know who they're currently against, or who's
yeah, who's for, who's against?
Because they're lobbying right now. They've probably got a whole heap that are for, a whole heap that are against, and then a whole heap who are undecided. Yeah.
Oh, that's those people standing over there in front of the doors handing out leaflets and trying to convince us to go one way or another.
No, that's Nala's trying to convince you to go one way or the other.
Now, Nala, Morgana, are you next, Humphrey? What the hell? My innocence.
I am sworn to protect those who can't protect themselves, Chester. So if you need to be,
Do you want me to stand in front of you or behind you?
No, it
And
is.
at Humphrey, someone overhears that as they walk by and says, "Yes, good to see. We need more nobles like you. You know, the princess is a social reformer. She's eager to establish schools and other public resources for the poor, and remove political or family restrictions for women and various minority groups. I mean, you sound like you should be helping the princess out. Yes, we need more people like that."
you're right. I'm all in now. This is our side.
So do we just go around
Just
killing
needed
her
a bit of
opposed?
flattery.
This guy here told me that she's all for social reform. So. What's your name?
I mean,
Is he wearing a T-shirt? Vote Princess Eutropia.
Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah, sure, yeah, he absolutely. It's probably a she, but they've certainly got it on there.
out
the
and proud.
adoring fan, they have a weird, like, ice cream whip haircut.
That's definitely it. So yes, that is one of the things you might find out. What else? I mean, obviously you're having a discussion at the moment. Is there anything else you might want to ask about things?
Has there been any assassination attempts?
There are always assassination attempts.
Okay.
Yeah, this is pretty cutthroat, Chester.
I don't like this city.
Yes.
What do we expect for the gala? I mean, is there a certain way we should act, or?
And who are you asking that of?
Humphrey, my confidant.
Yeah. I can go through the I guess either knowledge, nobility, or diplomacy, or whatever.
Sure, you could make a knowledge nobility.
First, take your finger out of your nose.
Don't be yourself.
Don't be yourself.
Are you having a stroke, Humphrey?
I'm undecided as to whether or not my 5% chance to completely fumble this has happened.
If not, Morgana can help with that.
What
do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's definitely rules, but they go in and out of fashion. Like the seasons, like from when my time is probably super outdated. We should probably make a note to ask Martella though when we see her again.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Well, unless Morgana, you said you were a noble as well, or something.
Well, used to be somewhere related.
Yes, you would not know much more, Morgana.
Have you been out of town for a while as well, or are you?
Yes. I've been following gnomes around the countryside.
As in multiple?
I can't.
Well, you gotta keep narrowing them down until you find the right one. I think I found the right one now.
I so can't wait to learn polymorph or disguise self or.
Yeah, you can't put that on her without her consent.
Not on her. On me. I don't want to be a gnome anymore. I used to love being a gnome.
I love you being a gnome.
I'm free. I'm helpless.
Are you having a stroke? I can help.
I make sure Humphrey is in between me and Morgana.
No, she said she can help you if you're stroking out. Go.
No,
Get her.
did you hear the inflection on help?
I can help you stroke out. Is that the story?
Oh,
I'll sense motive on Morgana and choose to fail.
I want to assist his sense motive.
I want to assist.
Yeah, I know you do. Lucky my
So
God.
as you debate, you perhaps realise that you obviously have some information about Grand Prince Stavian III, the Emperor of Taldor, that you know quite a bit about the Grand Day of Exaltation, that you know a little bit about Princess Eutropia, the potential heir to the throne, depending on how the vote will go, that you know almost nothing about Martella Lothide, who is your boss, and that obviously you have some general some general rumours and an understanding that there are rules involved, though they may have changed from when your colleagues were in the nobility.
I mean, I don't think we should ask around town about Martella because then she's going to hear about it and
Yep, 100%.
probably not be happy.
She could be impressed with our thoroughness.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah?
That's a 50-50 shot, I think.
But it's a 50-50 shot with her, but we'll also have the advantage of what information we gain about her. So,
Okay,
True.
but where would we ask about her? Would we back at the inn maybe, or
the red light district. She looked like a skank.
Assassin's Guild.
Jeez. Far out. Wait, there's an Assassin's Guild?
I don't know.
What?
What you just said?
I just started at the moment I stepped in the city.
Just chucking it in there.
I mean, 2 weeks ago I did see you stab some things to death, so yeah, very suspicious.
The bell had been rung. It was time. You know, I've told you this already.
So, I mean, yeah, you could go to a wealthy part of town. You're probably staying in an area where there's lots of brothels as such, given it's right on the big harbour. There is another one. You're in Westport, but there's Eastport on the other side of the bridge. There's the Narrows, which is a poor district. You could, yeah.
Don't worry, Chester. You don't need a brothel. Just let me know what you need.
Help.
Hey, if she's doing social stuff, then let's go to the poor district and see if there's any obvious signs of that happening. I reckon. What do you reckon?
Should we take some food?
No, we don't want to. We don't want to draw attention. We just want to go and check it out.
Do you want to help them? Okay.
Well, yeah, no, we can help them. Yeah, we
Would
take
be an
the
idea.
food, but it could cause a problem. Just so you're aware.
What?
They have had their population in the city like double, so
Okay. Well,
bring a lot of food if you're bringing it.
So as you head into the Narrows, you can all roll perception checks.
What's that?
what's that?
You have some perception, surely.
So
I trust
everyone
Why would
except
I need
Humphrey walk into the Narrows. Says Humphrey.
So Michael would call it spot, but for the rest of us, perception.
That's gross.
Is it with advantage or?
He's well, really. Izzy and Chester, you seem to be the only people who really notice. But one of the as you're getting close, or you can see the sort of area. You can see the city watch sort of move past it, look, and you can see someone beating someone down an alleyway, and they sort of just look and wave their hands, we're not going down there, and they head off. They don't go down there. It certainly looks like bodies and refuse lie openly down the streets, there's muddy pits, ramshackle buildings.
See, and this is why we need to help the poor, everyone.
From's having issues walking through this and not doing anything about it, or being able to. That is.
Let's do it.
Look,
Let's do it.
so
From
I head towards the poor sod getting beat up to try and intervene in a lawful way.
well, when because you're an armed party, that it's suddenly the guy doing the beating. He just runs off.
I help the poor sod up off the pavement.
Sure.
Give him
Not
him a little bit of rations and help him along his way.
Not that I'm distrusting, but I am watching the person that just got beaten up's hands.
Sure. Make a perception check.
I think we might be getting pulled into a scam trap.
Okay. No, that's all good. And he obviously thanks you a lot. The rest of you can make make perception checks as well. Well, given your view, you've noticed, down another alley, there seems to be a well-built building, and it seems to be actually serving up for like a soup kitchen. That may or may not be of interest.
Is this person that's just had the shit kicked out of them? Does it look like they'd need assistance? Like,
well, they've just been given some food.
So they've been fed. Okay, so yeah, From would be just very interested to see what's actually on offer in regards to helping the populace of Butter.
No, you head over. Derek, just for your information, I rolled your fortitude save against disease and you were successful, but neither you, when I rolled your perception, or Chester noticed the person relieving you of 5 gold that I've taken off your inventory. From you reach the soup kitchen and they sort of look at you and say, "Are you in need of food? What are you doing down in these parts?"
I'm here and interested to see how the poorer people are being looked after.
Well, there's very few people that take an interest. Only the princess has shown this, and we're only here by her good graces. We're trying to do something. If we'd be happy to have you help out if you wish to help out.
At this stage, I cannot. Tonight, but maybe another night, I would be more than happy to help. As you can see,
sometimes it can get rough here. Someone with your brawn might dissuade some of the nastier elements. You can sort of see they've only a narrow sort of area where they'd offer food, and it looks like they could slam shut a screen pretty quickly.
Well, praise Angrad that I will be able to be back. You can count on that.
Well, praise the princess. She's what's keeping this going.
From tilts his head
that is.
From tilts his head sideways and questions the princess.
Princess Eutropia. It's said that the Senate might change the law so that she will ascend to the throne if anything happens to Grand Prince Stavian, and we've heard he hasn't been very well lately, so there's every chance.
Thank you. Turns around to the rest of the party and just sort of nods and happy to walk out.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we could help them with the kitchen from. Like, there's no time on us at the moment, is there? I think.
Let's assume you would expect if not today, certainly tomorrow, that Martella will want to see you.
Let's continue through the poor area to see if what we can do, because I would like to come through and help as many as possible. So this is one option we can come back to, or I can come back by myself.
You won't be by yourself.
And at that, he nods at Chester the child molester.
It doesn't count if you're still a child yourself.
Fair call.
Or just child height.
Height or
Don't
age?
worry.
Yes.
Or just a
Chester, I'll
child at
keep an
heart.
eye on him.
Oh shit!
Mhm.
Chester's not looking for a mother.
Oh no, you don't have to call me mummy.
You would like that though?
Well, are you going to do any more investigating of the city or gathering information, or returning to the mask and dagger?
From's happy to continue on if people want to.
Yeah. Happy to keep going as much as we want.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to gather any more, make some diplomacy rolls and see what you pick up from the streets in terms of information about things.
Would this be the sort of place thieves groups would hang out and maybe make markings and the like?
It's certainly possible. Let me say, Humphrey. He obviously, you obviously, maybe you're viewed as too aloof in this area, Humphrey, and people aren't talking to you. But From and Nalla certainly seem to have attracted even over Chester, which is unusual itself. Tension, but if perhaps From and Nalla could make die 10 rolls, please.
That's a D10, and then I can go in there.
Damn.
Motherfucker.
Right. Well, Nalla, you hear from a group of, they look reasonably well dressed. So what are they doing in the slums? You don't know, but they hurry past and they have a chat to you. They seem to respect you as a priest of Pharasma, and they say, Eutropia brought back that disgusting mutt of hers from the Elbiston tournament last spring, and the wretched beast drooled on the silk table dressings. She'd never get away with such impropriety if her father wasn't pulling strings to protect her. And Cole, what you hear, or what From hears, is here the Emperor is going to exalt another of his Ulfin bodyguards like he did for Baron Vinmark. Last thing we need is another barbarian lording it over us. Which would contrast with what you have heard, that it is in fact a weaver from Breezy Creek named Galvio, who is
From
certainly
is
not
officially
an Ulfin bodyguard.
perplexed at this.
So the Ulfin bodyguards, as I think Humphrey you might have brought up once before, come from the northern kingdoms, like the Linorm kings and other areas, or Irison, and they are effectively barbarians in the service of the Emperor of Taldor. But, well, why not? Let's have Chester find them. And roll a die 10, Chester. You might find one of the same. You went too far behind the other guys. And you just hear the same thing you've heard before. The Senate is taking on a bunch of new staff to prepare for the gala. what would you like to do? Would you like to try a different area? You're probably into the afternoon by now, but
how much how much ground have we covered? I'm just looking at the map. How much ground?
Obviously it's hard. You could spend all the time in the slum area here.
So it's quite extensive. Okay.
Yeah, we've covered about that much, I'd say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm contemplating that. Yeah, so like from would continue as long as the party is willing to continue. He wouldn't drag the party, but if others are willing to continue to walk around and listen, otherwise he's also home. Happy to go back and contemplate what he's seen and start some prayers to Engrad.
Yes.
And sharpen the shit out of his sword because he needs to use it.
Are you gonna kill stuff, Brian?
Maybe.
Oh, what? Like bad guys?
Maybe.
Well, at overhearing that, some wretched person sort of lurches out and says, kill me, Lord, yes, and then I can ascend and join Prince Carius, the boy who would have been emperor, lost these 20 years. Kill me, my life is wretched as well. Kill me, let me go to him. What do you do, From?
Put my hands on my hips, tilt my head in a very puzzled stance, waiting for any more intriguing outburst by this obviously poor, dishevelled individual.
Would this lowers his head and say, life is over for me. Take my life. Send me to the next one.
To probably want to use a diplomacy check or oh god, I don't even have
sense motive on that.
Thank you, because I don't have that.
Absolutely.
It can't be that bad.
You think this person's telling the truth, but there's obviously some people who do struggle, and people living in this area are struggling more than most.
Andrew, I'd like to
Yeah.
cast a spell called So Thought, and I interject a thought that the Princess Utopia, the blood relative of the sacred brother that's died, is a good patron to follow, to dedicate herself to, or themselves to.
So that's a save, yes.
Yep, DC 7.
Well,
That's a good roll. I like a
I rolled
DC
a
7.
three.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3, so I think we can assume that's a fail. So the guy goes, yes, there is another, a sister. Yeah. That's really good.
Well played.
I'm going to go away and rethink my life. Yes, and no, don't kill me. And gets up and seems to move away with purpose.
Before he leaves, tell him that there is a soup kitchen further around that is soon to be under our protection. So if you need food, follow Angrad and go there. Be well.
And again, he nods at that. It's seeming with this new thought, this new lease of life, and that just seems to add more to that. That yes, of course, yes, food, soup, and heads off in that direction.
Fucking look at us.
And there's that sort of warm inner glow for all of you who want to feel that warm inner glow.
So yeah, I mean, if we can make social change, we can do a lot more than 1 or 2 people at a time.
From is contemplating how much good is seeming to be done by this princess, yet not by others. So he's going to keep that in the back of his mind while listening throughout what we're going to be learning.
I mean, now that gives us a reason to tear through all of our enemies and still claim that we're the good guys. So
From leans over, looking for a fist bump from Humphrey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just okay. No, it's not a hard one. Just a respect one of like a clink.
Yeah.
So there may be a little bromance happening here. A kill the infidels type bromance. It's good.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll go help that soup thing then.
Well, you can go back there and spend some time helping out, or
Yeah.
continue on through here, or other districts, or head back to the inn.
I might go with Frey. He's convinced me that we should go and.
So you guys go back to the soup kitchen.
Yeah. Take off the regalia if we've got any on us, so it doesn't get all dirty because we've got no fireball or prestidigitation. So.
No, I did assume you were not wearing.
Excellent. That was an exceptionally good assumption. Thank you, God. Appreciate you.
Swan in.
So let's assume while they're there. Let me roll a die 10 to see whether you pick up another rumor. You guys hear that the High Strategos Pyrethus is back in the capital, and that must mean the marriage between him and the princess is back on. And you hear people say he's so handsome, he'll make a lovely emperor.
If the laws say so, so it well shall be.
Yes, well, and if you interject, you get the nods of yes, the law, yes, of course. That no doubt that's what the Senate must be planning. I'm sure of it. That's what must be what all the talk is about. I mean, the current emperor, we're hearing he's sick. He can't last much longer. So this would be for the betterment of all of Taldor. And yes, let's say we get into night. Are you going to stay in the slums into the night? Are you going to return to the inn?
Go back to the inn.
Probably best to go back to the inn.
Yes.
You can't have Chester in the street. We got to get him back to their room.
So there's merriment happening as you had last night. Are you guys going to stay up? Are you going to go to bed early?
From will go to bed early to contemplate what he's seen and just be.
I'm going to stay up and have a couple of drinks.
Okay, Izzy. Well, Izzy, you can make a diplomacy check if you're staying up.
Oh, let's not do that.
Well, it's more just to see how successful might you be in. You can make a die 10 roll.
In or out?
Or you can make it out.
Do the hokey pokey.
And you hear the same comment about that the Emperor is going to exalt another of his alternate bodyguards.
Okay.
Is anyone staying up? Oh, sorry, go on, Ash.
Yeah, sorry. This is also my form of worship to Caden Kalian. Staying up, having a few drinks, and remembering how awesome he is. Ka-tink.
I join you for that drink as I also follow Caden.
Oh, do you?
Are we staying up with some drinks, are we? Excellent.
How did we not know?
Are any of you trying scotch with milk? It seems to be a speciality here as well.
No. Ale and wine.
I'll get one for Morgana. It's the only beverage she drinks.
If Chester gets it for me, then I'll drink it and I'll just look at him the whole time I'm slurping it up.
Well, let's have
stick my tongue into it and look at Chester.
Let's have both of you make die 10 rolls to see what you may pick up in the in a rumour sense.
Oh, I
Herpes.
might pick up something. I'm not sure if it's a rumor.
Even that will be a rumor.
Morgana, you hear that Lady Marilla is back in town from Absalon, where she had some trouble with rats gnawing through all her food. I wonder if she's performing for the Exaltation Gala. And Chester, you start hearing you hear this rumor of this guy comes that says, hey, my uncle's in the Lion Blades. He says the Kadirans, oh, hang on a second, I've already spoken. Yeah, no, and he moves off pretty quickly.
Find a new inn.
Read your shit elsewhere, you
He
little
can't, he's the bartender.
But you do hear another room that says, and this is a different guy, always talking about uncles. My uncle's a merchant. Says he's getting coins from all over the old colonies this Exaltation Week. Maybe some of the colonies are starting to regret leaving the Empire. And so Taldor used to be a lot bigger, dominating many of the countries, which I think was not in Kadira, but Galt, Andoran, and I think even Cheliax, who were colonies at one point of Taldor.
Yes.
And you have heard there seems to be lots, so obviously more coins than usual pouring in from those countries.
Interesting.
Very.
So, yes, that's now Umfrey and Nala. Are you staying up, going to bed?
I'm heading to bed. It's been a provocative day.
Yeah,
Humphrey?
Humphrey will stay up, but he's not going to look for gossip. He's just going to sit down and chat with some of the old people there. Just about their day and whatever.
They say, gee, it's really been a buzz. There's so many new.
No, I don't want gossip. I don't want gossip.
They say,
Just trying
do you
to relax.
remember the days you used to just be able to hear the boats coming in? Now there's so many more people. It's really like immigration has got out of hand. We just don't have enough houses. And the districts are changing. It's I don't know what you think, Humphrey. I mean, you seem to have been a part of this many years ago.
Well, yeah, it was all nice in the Noble District until I realised how they pay for it all.
Well, there's always going to be those on top and those getting squashed underneath. What's our lot just to be
Oh,
squashed
Chester,
underneath?
you can get squashed underneath.
Stop eavesdropping on other people's conversations.
Just those
But I'm
key
here
words.
with you.
But, if that's it, we can accelerate through till tomorrow, where as you get up, you find that Martella is waiting for you. And she says, the time has come. The Exaltation Gala is taking place today, and I must ask you to wear your robes. I'm going to give you all a special pin called a Senate Aid Badge. This will enable me to potentially communicate with you, but also identify that you are on the Senate's business, and it will enable you relatively free access through the Senate. What I need you to do is perform a number of tasks for me, but as part of that, you should also enjoy yourselves and perhaps build your own relationships with the various elements in court so that you may progress your own futures here in Taldor if you choose. But there will be a number of people to engage with, and there are a number of tasks in relation to that I would like you to perform. And you don't have to do all of them, but that will certainly reflect on how successful my mission for the princess will be. So I need someone who would be an aide for me, that is, who will run errands for me while in the Senate building. I may need to communicate a letter to someone or receive something, and I would expect that person to be doing it. Who might that person be? Maybe you should think while I read out the other possible tasks. There is one of discovery. I need to find out who is a true Taldan patriot and who is not. I also need some fraud work done. I need some. I need to perhaps disgrace a noble. There is politicking to be done. There is sabotage. There is some spy work, and there is some theft work that will place someone at a disadvantage where I need some items stolen from the Senate, which I can tell you about. We will shortly head over there an hour before it starts, which will give you time in a sense. But before I explain these tasks, you must be aware that while you're in the Senate, there are rules that will apply to what you can do. So there is the only armor you can wear are breastplates, ceremonial armor, or light armor, but no other armor is permitted except for the guards of the Senate. While potion scrolls and spell components are permitted, spell casting is not permitted within the building without the written approval of the Senate. Only light and one-handed weapons are allowed inside the Senate building, and those must be secured by means of a peace bond, that is, with a sheath of decorative cord wrapped around it. But other weapons are not allowed, that is, ranged weapons or two-handed weapons. Animals are not permitted inside the Senate unless they are familiars or service animals, and in any event, no large animals are permitted inside the Senate. While you will be free to roam through most areas, you are not able to go to senators' offices, though obviously if you are doing one of my tasks, you may need to find ways in which you can get into a senator's office if that is required. Please do not break these rules, or break them in the open at least, because it will get me, and through me, potentially the princess, in trouble.
Would there be a way of getting that writ to be able to cast spells? Because I've got helpful spells like message and things, which I could use to complete your tasks.
Only the entertainers normally get that, so I think that given what's happening, no, you would not be able to. But that aside, you may feel that you possess sufficient skill to get away with the odd spell if you roll high enough.
From asks if there's any roles outside the Senate that he could actually do instead.
No, unfortunately this work will all take place inside there. But I heard from that you are quite good with your hands in a fight.
Quite good, but I will not leave my sword elsewhere. That is my problem.
Well, it will have to stay outside the Senate building, if it is in fact a two-handed weapon. And your armor must
quite
come
great. I will have to talk to my party. I may be looking for a new party.
Because these, the Senate simply cannot have people who may, in the heat of an argument, elect to use martial prowess rather than debate to resolve a matter. But be those rules aside, the tasks that are there are specific skills that might relate to those tasks that might be more helpful. Is there anyone who has an idea about something that is immediately attractive to them?
What time period is this over? Is this going to be like a day or weeks or?
No, it'll all be in one day, starting early. She says there will be a series of events that will culminate in the exaltation, which will happen after the Senate vote. The one that interests me, and hopefully by extension you, is the primogeniture vote. That is the one that I would like you to influence, both ascertaining whether there are particular nobles that I have an inkling may be wavering, or for those that I want to discredit, because I know they are going to be involved in preventing the removal of the primogeniture rule. But some of it is just general gaining of information anyway. But yes, it will be over a day.
Yeah, cool. So, sorry, Chester, you were going to say you might be more suited to one.
Well, I was just going to ask the God Almighty if prestidigitation could change the appearance of From's weapon. It'll only last an hour.
I don't think that's what prestidigitation does, but there are other spells that can do that sort of thing.
It allows me to perform a simple magical effect for an hour.
Yes, but I think given there are spells that do that, I don't think that's what it's going to be able to do.
Okay.
From asks, is she still there, or she already buggered off, or is she waiting to hear from us?
No, because she said you're coming with, she'll lead you over there. But in fact, you notice she's put this device down on the table that seems to make the odd clicking, and she says this will ensure our discussion is not overheard by those who are potentially watching me. They're all of us are watching each other, and no doubt they may well be watching you, and that is why some level of deception may be needed in terms of what you do. But for instance, acting as an aide for me and running stuff is a perfectly normal task. There'll be many others doing the same thing for other people who are like me.
Is there a church of Engrad in the city?
I am sure that there could be.
Then From is happy, but he needs to go to the church, and he will put his armor and sword with them for 24 hours.
Yes,
so
which says understood. We will go past. One on the way.
Excellent. He's more than happy to do that. And if you have tasks for just passing messages and message running, he's more than happy to do that task.
I know a bit more about what skills of ours relate to the tasks.
Yeah, because I'm pretty fucked, skill-wise.
Yeah.
Hashtag just saying.
Yeah, and I must admit, I would certainly like to know that as well. But that aside, yes, there is a list, and where have I written those things more down here? Somewhere.
They're highlighted, Andrew.
Yeah, I didn't actually highlight them in the book, which was probably not the best thing to do.
Well, you're not following the great footsteps.
No, well, Glyn normally gives me things highlighted. He hasn't in this occasion, so...
Well, if you want to send me over the module, I'll highlight it by next week for you.
I thought you would have already opened it and be highlighting it. I mean, that's...
It's on his Google page.
On his Google page, yeah, exactly. They don't... I can put it where I want it.
You could tell Andrew what the related skills are. That would be helpful.
Yeah,
well, I know what my skills are, and I just none of the things that he read out really sort of made me think they were immediately connected. So,
well, in the email list I sent out, that is all of them. So, for instance, being the aide indicates that you need someone who might be an athletic champion, because things like escape artist or combat maneuver checks are going to be useful for that particular skill. So
Well-
that's being the aid.
I'll take the fraudulent work.
Oh,
So-
I'll
so-
speak
so-
to that.
I'll read. It probably makes more sense. I'll read out the skills that would go with the things, and then you can say. So there's the discovery one, which is whether or not 2 senators are actually dedicated to her cause or not, and that would need sense, motive, and perception. Would be good ones there. There is needing to discredit a few prominent senators, and that would need sense, motive, or a bluff check, or potentially even linguistics at some point. Like there are different skills that might work there. Politicking, which is to engage with the various people moving on. There's one particular person that she wants you to make an impression of, and so that would be maybe an intimidate check. Or obviously there's probably diplomacy there, depending on which route you want to take. There is sabotage, where there might be some senators who are too powerful or stubborn, and there's a little bit of family history that she wants to engage with there, and that may need something like appraise, knowledge, nobility, disable device. There's been
I've got a praise and knowledge nobility.
so there's being a spy, which would need perception and sense motive. There is the theft, which doesn't need any particular skill, although sleight of hand might be quite useful.
Sounds like me.
So it probably makes sense that you'd each be doing some of these individual tasks, and there will be, she says, there's a series of events that will happen, and these tasks will intermingle with those events. So they're not all going to be able to be completed at event 1. There's always tasks, so for the aid, where she may need something at the start, and then say at event 4 she'll need to do something else, and at event 7. So some things she will direct, other things can only happen when, say, the particular noble is only available in event 4 or event 6. And if you've got someone doing 3 of the tasks, it's possible they might only be able to interact with someone at event 4, and then they can't do one of their other tasks, so someone else would need to do that. If that makes sense. No.
Yeah, yep.
It is.
We can get our dirty thief to do all the dirty thief jobs as long as they don't overlap.
Yep.
Dirty thief.
Murderer thief. Is that what?
From will just take whatever you guys don't want. Like he'll take the last
Probably
one
not.
because he is not that skilled in anything that's required.
Well, then we might as well not allocate them to start with, and just see what overlaps to start with, or whatever we get assigned first, I guess.
It sounds like the aid one was probably the most likely one we needed someone for.
Oh
So-
yeah, what was that?
Yeah.
Athletics or something?
And remember, that
Yeah,
was either
athletics.
escape artist or CMB roles. So even someone who didn't have good skills, if they had a decent CMB, could do that.
So she says, first off, I will need someone to deliver a sealed letter to Count Orlando Zespi in the archives.
I can do
And
that.
in a mechanical sense, to navigate quickly the people on the floor, because there'll be tons of people around. You'd need to make either an escape artist check or a combat maneuver check.
What about Morgana just cackling madly as she walks through?
Just be aware, I had the feeling, depending on what traits you took, that there might have been a trait that meant you weren't slowed down by crowds or something.
And that's true, or there may be innovative things you wish to raise that we can look at. So the discovery one is Martella is confident that the princess has gathered the votes necessary for her cause, but Duke Centimus and Countess Abril Pace, she's just a bit iffy about where they stand, and she would need someone to discover their positions in advance, as well as the reasons each noble holds that position. And that would most likely require a sense, motive, or perception check. But you would need to be able to put said noble at ease with an appropriate influence check. I mean, do you want me to read through all of these, or do you just want to perhaps check? Or do you want me to sort of go through them all like that, so you say, right, I've got a rough feel for what these tasks would be?
Maybe at the start of next session.
Yep. That makes sense. We're pretty well at the end, Dave, and yes.
Just so that we don't forget what we're doing.
Happy for anyone who says, looks, and I will endeavour to write these out, because I think when you look at them, it's probably easier to visualise these are the tasks, here's the information she's given us, and we'd go from there. But I can assume that she's probably talking, perhaps holding this device of hers along the way, and that you will go to a church to have From drop off his armour and sword. Just on her comments about armour, are the rest of you wearing your armour, or is everyone in either breast or light armour?
I'm not wearing any armour.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my leather.
Take it off.
So if you're taking it off, I'll assume that you've left it back at the inn. And likewise for any weapons that are ranged or two-handed.
So, just on that, I'm a dagger thrower. I'm assuming that throwing daggers isn't classified as a ranged.
Well, I think you would say that your dagger is a light weapon, but I guess if you've got a bandolier of daggers, she would suggest that one dagger would be sufficient, because anything more would look like you're going to throw them at people. And she says these aren't her rules. She said at this time there's heightened sensitivity about weapons inside the Senate.
Yeah, I'm assuming no tower shield either.
Oh no, that's fine. No tower shield.
The way to get through crowds.
It's just a really strong cape. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so I'll take my bandolier off, but I'll still take 2 daggers.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I mean, unless you're going to attempt to conceal, a bandolier of daggers or something.
Nope.
Yep.
And we're all bringing trail rations, backpacks, and water skins, yeah?
Bedroll. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In case we get
You
locked
could
in.
probably assume that's right. That stuff.
Crowbar, rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've got an item that is that, yeah, I mean, imagine if you're going to your daily work now, would you be taking all of that stuff with you? Or you might take some rations.
How about we each carry a dagger, so if we get into trouble, we can always give all the daggers to.
Yeah,
That's actually a good idea.
But I've got a sword. What if they say, hey, you're carrying that dagger because we assume you're going to throw it?
Do you say, no, it's too heavy?
Yeah.
I will be wielding my gnome pincher, which is a light weapon.
Light weapons are fine unless they're ranged, excluding what Derek has raised about daggers. So,
What's a
all right. Well, thank you all very much. I find it a little bit difficult and complex, obviously, to get around, and I will try and map it out in on paper a bit more, so you can read it if you like, or electronically, so there's more to look at. Tasks and events.
It says this odd weapon is a 2-foot rod topped with 4 blunt claws. Squeezing the handle causes the claws to close. You can use the gnome pincher to attempt to disarm or steal. combat maneuver with a +2 bonus. You can transfer an object from the pincer to your free hand as a free action.
Right.
Now I know why Morgana talks as she does about you. Yes, now more is being discovered.
It's just a long grab claw because I can't.
So that's less suspicious to bring in than 2 daggers.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
You know,
Yeah.
that's right.
Absolutely.
Jesus. Maybe it's your walking stick. I don't know.
Yeah, my 2-foot walking stick.
Or a helpful picker-upper for distances when you drop things down
Yes,
cracks.
he's
Or
got a
something.
bad back. That's right. He needs it.
Yeah.
That is true. That's a good point. Well, gentlemen, thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was
see you
cool.
next week.
Thanks.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you all.
Talk to you soon.
Adios.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.